What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another FPL video on the channel. And in today's one, we are going to be looking at my game week 2 transfer plans. But before we do get into it, if we could get 50 likes on the video, that would be absolutely fantastic. I do appreciate all the support and love you guys have been showing me recently on the channel. But with that being said, let's get into my game week 2 transfer plans. And I do want to start off by saying the plan is to roll the transfer, guys. You guys already know I've built my team in a way where I don't really want to be making a transfer for game week 2. Even if an injury does crop up, I'll most likely bench that player that gets injured, right? The plan is to just roll the transfer. I don't really like making transfers in game week 2 based off just 1 week's worth of information, right? So yeah, I feel like the team is also in a good position. As you guys can see, this is how the team does look for game week 2. I don't really feel like I need to make a transfer, right? In goal, I've got Sells, and I've got a back three of Murillo, Dorgu, and Tosin. Yes, Tosin didn't play the last game against Crystal Palace due to an injury he picked up in training, but I've heard it's not meant to be like a long-term injury. It was more of just a precautionary thing, right? So with that being said, I do expect Tosin to be back for the West Ham game. However, if Tosin is not back for the West Ham game, that's fine. That is fine by me, guys. You know why? Because I've got Pedro Porro and I've got Ronaldo on the bench, right? Pedro Porro is playing against City away. It's not ideal, but maybe he can pick up some defensive contributions in that game. And Ronaldo's got a nice fixture against Burnley away from home as well, so I could even play him. So I've got the players on the bench where even if Tosin is injured, I still don't have to make a transfer. I've got Palmer, Saka captain, Rodgers, Kudus, Reinders, Watkins, and Erling Haaland. So overall, I think my team for game week 2 looks pretty good at the moment. And look, one thing I do want to speak about is players that I've got on my radar, players that I've got on my watch list, players that I was really impressed with in game week 1 that do have a good chance of making my team in the future. And we're also just going to sort of, as you guys know, right, I consider myself a planner. I like to plan ahead. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at my team for, game week 3, 4, 5, 6, and just see what we're working towards, right? Because as I said, I'm the type of manager that does like to plan ahead. So with that being said, guys, let's start off by talking about who I've got on my radar, right? And these are the players I've got on my radar, and it is Chris Wood, Brian Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, Anton Semenyo, and Jurgen Strand Larsen. So look, Chris Wood, for me, the man is absolutely inevitable. Last season, he was absolutely fantastic, right? Had a great FPL Premier League season, and this season, he started things off with an absolute bang, scoring a brace against Brentford at home, and it's just what Chris Wood does. And for me, I just think the fixtures are really good, and that's the main thing. That is the main thing. That's the main reason why I do want Chris Woodinho in my team potentially, right? I think, look, in game week 2, probably not going to do it, but there is a chance in game week 3 I do bring him in for sure, because this is also the week I do plan to bench boost, guys, and we'll get onto that in a second when we do look at, my future plans. But look, I think game week 3, West Ham at home, it's a great fixture. They just got absolutely destroyed by Sunderland. Game week 4, again, my plan is to free hit, so that's fine. And then game week 5 and 6 is Burnley and Sunderland. So you can see here the short-term fixtures for Nottingham Forest and Chris Wood are just really good. So look, I do like Chris Wood as a pick, and I think with those fixtures, it does make him really tempting to go for. And then we also do have Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha. And my word, I was so impressed with what I saw from these two players and Manchester United as a team against Arsenal. I think we performed so well, and I do think our players now, like Brian Mbeumo, like Matheus Cunha, can offer some serious value. When you look at the Manchester United attack, right, Matheus Cunha, Brian Mbeumo, they're at the heart, they're at the center of everything we do in the final third, and I think they'll be definitely involved in the goals and assists. So I really am a big fan now of Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha. We also know they're going to start. We also know they're going to get 90 minutes pretty much every week. So, and also Man United, they've got no European football. We've got no Champions League, no Europa League, no Conference League, 1 game a week. I do think, right, our players can step up to the plate now and really perform and get those goals and assists. So as I said, I think for me, I'm strongly considering Brian Mbeumo. I'm strongly considering Matheus Cunha. And also, guys, when you look at the fixtures that we have, I don't mind it at all. I think, look, game week 2, as I said, I plan to roll, right? So Fulham away, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. But after that, game week 3, Burnley at home, very nice, especially because I do plan on bench boosting this week as well. I also do plan on free hitting in game week 4, so the Man City game is irrelevant. I'd probably play him against Chelsea at home, but it's not bad. Based off, the way we play today, I'm more than happy to play Mbeumo against Chelsea. I'm more than happy to play Matheus Cunha against Chelsea at home because, yes, Chelsea are pretty solid defensively, but my word, the performance we put in today was absolutely sensational. So, yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind it at all. And then after that, it's Brentford away from home and then Sunderland at home. So I look at the fixtures and I think, yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. So, yeah, I've definitely got Mbeumo. I've definitely got Cunha on my radar, man. I think they could offer some fantastic value, guys. I really, really do. And then, of course, Anton Semenyo, for me, definitely on my radar at the price of 7 million, guys. I mean, he scored a brace away at Anfield against Liverpool. Absolutely fantastic. Both goals are really, really good, especially that second one as well. I was just impressed with what I saw with Anton Semenyo. And to be honest, we kind of know what we're getting, right? Starts week in, week out. The 90-minute man, and again the upcoming fixtures are just so good for Bournemouth. That Liverpool game was literally the hardest game that they had in their opening set of fixtures, and now that game is out the way, you know, the fixtures that they've got coming up look really, really nice. They've got Wolves at home, Spurs away, Brighton at home, Newcastle at home, Leeds away, then Fulham, Palace. Like, I just like the long-term fixtures. So there is definitely potential there with me bringing in Anton Semenyo, because I just think, yeah, he's just reliable. I can trust him. I know what I'm getting with him as an FPL asset. And Bournemouth, even though they did lose a lot of their back line, I still think overall as a team, they actually look pretty solid against Liverpool. Like, yes, I noticed some weaknesses at the back, but still overall in terms of their attack, you know, it's still very, very good. So yeah, I'm more than happy, you know, to consider Semenyo as an option. Definitely someone I'm considering. And then the last play is Jørgen Strand Larsen. He did kind of look like that, you know, he had an injury in the Man City game, but of course we'll get some updates from the manager. But if he is fit to play, he's definitely on my radar once again, because I do kind of just like the fixtures that Wolves do have again. And I think against Man City, they didn't actually look too bad, if I'm being totally honest. I thought they were pretty decent. They did score an offside goal. They did create some chances in that game. And I think, again, the fixtures for Wolves look pretty decent from this point onwards. Bournemouth away, Everton at home, Newcastle away, definitely tough. But after that, it's Leeds at home, then Spurs, then Brighton, then Sunderland and Burnley. So you look at these fixtures, it does look good. And also with what I have planned moving forward, I would be able to bench Jørgen Strand Larsen in the tougher games, which I like a lot. So yeah, these are definitely the players on my radar at the moment. These are the players that I am considering. Let me know what you guys do think of that down below in the comments. But we're not done here yet. Now we're going to get into the interesting bit. We're going to have a look at what my team is looking like for future game weeks. And yeah, let's see who we plan on bringing in, you know, in game weeks 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So yeah, let's get into it. All right guys, so we are on planfpl.com and we're sort of just going to have a look at my future moves with the team. And as I said, for game week 2, the plan is to just simply roll the transfer. So let's move on to game week 3. And in game week 3, this is where I do plan on making some transfers, because I do want to activate my bench boost chip. So how am I going to go about game week 3? Well, at the moment, what I've got planned is to take out Saka, right? The only reason I had Saka in my team was specifically just to captain him in game week 2. So I want to take out Saka, I want to take out Jr., right, and use my 2 free transfers. So I've got 2 options really. One of them is to maybe go to Mbeumo or Matheus Cunha. Honestly, I actually don't know who I would rather go for out of Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha. It's very hard. It is very hard because they're both so involved in our attack. I'd say Mbeumo just also take some set pieces, so maybe, you know, I'm edging towards Mbeumo because his routes to points is higher than Matheus Cunha. And you know, if Bruno Fernandes ever got injured, I'd assume Mbeumo would be on penalties as well. So yeah, I'd probably say right now I'm favoring Mbeumo over Cunha. So yeah, I could go to Saka out, Mbeumo in, and then also Jørgen Strand Larsen at 6.5. so that could be my plan for game week 3. And then bang, I activate my bench boost, and I don't mind it. It's a very, very strong overall squad. Hopefully Tosin is back by then, but I like it. Of course, I've got Dubravka, right, playing against United away, but honestly, I really don't mind. I really don't mind. Honestly, I'm happy to take a 2 or 3 pointer from my goalkeeper, if I'm totally honest. But yeah, the bench just looks strong. You know, Dorgu against Burnley at home, Ronaldo against Brentford at home, and then Strand Larsen against Everton at home. And my starting level looks quite good as well. So game week 3 looks really, really strong for me. Really, really strong. And I'm happy, as I said, to use my 2 free transfers and bench boost in game week 3. So game week 4, it doesn't really matter what happens here because I do plan on using my free hit. And the main reason why I do plan on a free hit in the game week 4 is because, as you guys know, I've got 0 Liverpool players and I've also got 0 Crystal Palace players. So what I will do is free hit in game week 4, go triple up on Liverpool, triple up on Palace as well. And then, yeah, you know, maybe get some Fulham players in there, double Arsenal defense against maybe Nottingham Forest or something like that. But yeah, my plan is to free hit in game week 4. Now we move on to game week 5, and I think again the team is in a pretty good spot. What I would do here, I'm happy with my back line. I'm happy with Sells against Burnley. I'm happy with Murillo against Burnley. I'm happy with Porro against Brighton. I would probably bring on Dorgu playing against Chelsea at home instead of playing Tosin. So I'd bring in Dorgu, and then yeah, I can pretty much just roll the transfer. If I'm being honest, I think the team looks pretty strong. What I would do is play Brian Mbeumo against Chelsea, but bring in Strand Larsen, because I've got Strand Larsen playing against Leeds at home, and I've got Man City playing against Arsenal. So I think in game week 5, Tijani Reinders, he would probably get benched for me. And then that's how my team would look in game week 5. And I don't mind it at all. The back line looks pretty solid in my opinion. Palmer and Mbeumo. And then, you know, Rodgers, double Villa attack against Sunderland. I don't mind. Kudus against Brighton. Sean Larson against Leeds. And, of course, Haaland against Arsenal. In terms of captaincy, I can go to Watkins playing against Sunderland away. So that's not too bad at all. In game week 6, again, the plan is to just simply roll the transfer. I feel like at this point, the squad overall is looking really, really good. We bring in Reinders back into the starting 11 as well. I can bench Strand Larsen playing against Spurs away, which is really, really nice. The back line, once again, looks strong. Double Forest defense playing against Sunderland at home. I don't mind it if I say so myself. Then, you know, Pedro Porro against Wolves, Dorgu against Brentford. That's fine. I could even start Tosin against Brighton at home, but I think I'd maybe play the attacking upside with Dorgu. Again, Palmer in the team, assuming that he does perform. Palmer stays in the team. Then, you know, Brian Mbeumo, double Villa attack again against Fulham at home. I think, you know, double Man City attack as well, by the way. Erling Haaland and Tijani Reinders. I will say this. If Burnley continue to look really, really poor, I will strongly consider triple captaining Erling Haaland in game week 6 against Burnley at home. But yeah, right now, I think game week 6, my team looks really, really good. So again, I can just roll the transfer. Really, really happy with that. Really happy with the team. Really just happy with my overall structure. It looks good. I feel like in so many game weeks, I feel like my players play against, you know, the easier teams in the league, which I like a lot. So game week 7, again, guys, the plan is to probably just roll the transfer, if I'm being honest, in game week 7. I could make a transfer here, but I think right now my plan probably wouldn't be to make a transfer. I mean, one thing I could do is take out Palmer. I could take out Palmer and Murillo for Saka and Gabriel. But the reason why I'm not going to do that, is because in game week 8, I do have a plan. And that plan is to get in Gabriel. So I'm going to take out Murillo, because I think Nottingham Forest fixtures at this point, yeah, from game week 8, Nottingham Forest's fixtures doesn't look too great, if I'm being honest. You know, Chelsea, Bournemouth, United, Leeds, Liverpool, it's not great. So I don't know if I want to have double Forest defense from game week 8 onwards. So with that being said, yeah, taking out Murillo for Gabriel is a potential. And then also taking out Morgan Rodgers, who's got Spurs away, for, I would say, maybe Arias of Wolves is a potential, because Wolves do have Sunderland and Burnley as their next 2 games. And also taking out Watkins for Gerard Bowen. This is something I could do in game week 8. Bowen's got a really good fixture on at this point onwards. Brentford, Leeds, Newcastle, Burnley, Bournemouth. So I don't mind it at all. So I could do those transfers, then bring in Strand Larsen, and probably bench Brian Mbeumo playing against Liverpool away from home. And then again, that's how my team would look. I don't mind it at all. I'd probably bring in Tosin as well. And yeah, that's how my team would look for game week 8. But I'm going to quickly reset this game week, and I want to go back to game week 7. So that's one option. Another option is possibly taking out Cole Palmer. Again, this is all dependent on, you know, form. But bringing in Saka for game week 7 is definitely a possibility. And then using the remaining funds to bring in Gabriel, that is definitely a possibility. That is something I can do. But that all just depends on the form of Cole Palmer. If Cole Palmer is stinking up the place, then 100% that's the move I'm doing. Even if Cole Palmer's got, you know, decent fixtures, I don't really care. So yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Definitely something to consider. But game week 7 looks really, really strong for me. That's just sort of what I've got in mind at the moment. But anyways, guys, I'm going to end it there. I don't want to waffle on for too long. But yeah, that is just the plan I've got at the moment. That's sort of what I'm working towards. They're my future plans. With the team, honestly, I feel like the setup, the plan is really, really good. Bench boosting in game week 3. Free hitting in game week 4. It just works for me. And then rolling the transfer for a few weeks. It just works. It really just works. I like the team setup. I like the structure. I like the rotations I've got going on. I'm in a pretty good spot at the moment. So yeah, really happy with that. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to end it there. Let me know what you guys do think of my team and sort of my transfer plans for the future. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Let me know what you guys do think of my future plans. But yeah, smash a like on the video, guys. 50 likes would be absolutely fantastic. Subscribe if you haven't already. And also, sorry for my awful voice. I don't know what's going on, but I think I'm losing my voice. I don't know why, but hopefully it returns back to normal very soon. But yeah, anyway guys, enough of the waffle. I'm out, man. I'm out. Peace.